Aloha, I'm Lyla Berg, and we're here at the Culinary Institute of the Pacific, ready to meet the people who inform, inspire, and impact our daily lives. Thank you for joining us on Island Focus. The Culinary Institute of the Pacific.
Yes.
Sounds very impressive.
It does.
As a title.
I mean, you look at the space, it's impressive. You just look behind us. I mean, right on Diamond Head, beautiful facility.
So this open field, for instance, what would happen here?
So we've had a couple events already that we just set up tents and we cooked from the kitchen, and it's just such a beautiful venue to work with. And hopefully we can work it out where the students are doing a lot of the work too, and they get to have this experience. There's so many events. Yeah, there's so many events here in Hawaii already, and just to have that background already.
And I appreciate you talking about the industry. It's not just cooking.
It's not just cooking.
And it's not just visitor industry. It's really economic development.
Yeah. So, I mean, I also do the Food and Wine Festival.
Oh, okay.
And I work in the industry sometimes now. But just to tie everything together for Hawaii, for the students, it should be great one day.
I'm here with Conrad Nonaka, who is the director of the Culinary Institute of the Pacific. It's wonderful to see you again, and how proud you must be that we're filming here on your property.
Yes, thank you very much, Lyla. It's really an honor to see the results of our completion of the first phase of our culinary facility that we have been able to raise the money to be able to complete. So, as you can see with the results of what's here, the future students and the students for not only Kapi'olani Community College, but also for the University of Hawaii Community College's 6th culinary program really have the opportunity to get their advanced professional certificate here at the Culinary Institute. And it's really something that the industry have been craving for, in line of not only providing a 2-year associate degree at the culinary programs, but also providing the students the opportunity for advanced training to be able to have the confidence and competencies toward being a manager or owner of their own business.
So when a student enters the program, what's one of the first things they experience?
This advanced facility is more open in its training respect, and it's not only geared toward the students' learning experience, but also for our industry professionals and our community to come in and enjoy. This facility is part of a growing partnership in engaging the community and yet creating a strong pathway for our students for advanced training.
Well, what I love so much about what I hear you saying is that it's not just about learning how to cook, but it's also to take that joy or that interest to the next level in their own careers.
The future opportunity for our students, not only learning from our current instructors here in the islands, also from professional industry from all over the world, coming in as visiting chefs or visiting professionals to share not only their culinary skills of their country, but the story behind their food and learning the culture of those countries. So the future is very bright for all of our students.
And did you start cooking when you were young?
I came through the Kapi'olani Community College culinary program way back when it was on Pensacola Street next to McKinley High School. And you know, I was very fortunate to go through the program at that time, and we had a new facility there, which we thought was fabulous. And you know, never dreaming that I'll have the opportunity to come and someday return the whole aspect of what I've learned and gain in experience of the industry to develop this advanced culinary training facility.
So you started cooking, and then you went through the business, and you were an executive chef yourself.
Yes, I went through the rank and file of working mainly restaurants, small restaurants in the beginning, because my father always told me you need to learn how to cook before you can become a chef. So when I entered the hotel industry, basically I was after the military service, and I went through the whole aspect of being a breakfast cook to becoming executive chef, food and beverage director, and ultimately general manager.
What's a vision that you have for the next step?
Well, it's going to be fabulous. It's a resource that provides many, many great opportunities. And one of the key things is we want to promote Hawaii regional cuisine and using our local industry professionals to come here to teach, as well as inviting the very best from the world. So the future is very bright for our professionals and students.
Well, I'm excited for the future, as I'm sure you are, and I thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We've been chatting here at the Culinary Institute of the Pacific with Director Conrad Nonaka. Appreciate you being with us. With us today on Island Focus is NATALIE McKinney, who is Executive Director for the Kokua Hawaii Foundation. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And Kokua Hawaii, we know it means kokua and helping, but maybe you could explain a little bit more what's inside this foundation.
So we support environmental education in Hawaii schools and communities. We do that through a variety of programs. We offer grants to schools to get students to outdoor destinations so that they can connect with nature. We also have grants for schools who are interested in starting or maintaining sustainability initiatives on their school campuses, like school gardens or aquaponics or solar projects. And then we also have waste reduction programs, the 3R School Recycling Program, Plastic Free Hawaii, and our crown jewel is the Aina in Schools, a farm to school initiative.
How can we make sure that every school has this experience?
Yeah, so at our Aina in Schools program, we service 23 Oʻahu elementary schools. However, we have a farm to school curricula that we've trained over 500 teachers statewide to utilize. And the grants are available to every school, public, private, and charter all throughout the state. And so it's just about spreading the word that these monies and funds are available for teachers and for schools and for students.
So with the mantra, eat local, buy local, how does that impact the schools?
Well, at the current time, the Department of Education has really increased their local purchasing of school foods, but we say it's not nutritious unless they eat it.
Yeah.
So the work that we're doing around nutrition education and school gardens is really helping to connect the students to the food so that once we know if they grow a radish, they tend to it, they will be more likely to eat it. So we're really trying to connect them to where their food comes from, who grows it. We also bring chefs into the classroom, as well as farmers, as well as try to get kids out onto farms.
So it's probably pretty special for you to be in this location at the Culinary Institute of the Pacific.
This is an amazing location. I've actually had the opportunity to be here before and get a behind-the-scenes tour. And culinary in Hawaii is amazing. And there's tremendous opportunity, not just in the industry, but for these people who are actually growing our food as well.
So if there was a message to the community as a result of this conversation, what might that be?
That might be support agriculture, support local agriculture. I also want to say get involved at the legislative level, vote, use your dollars as you vote as well. So when you're out there purchasing a product, think about buying the local product as opposed to buying the product that's imported or brought in from the mainland.
Speaking of the legislature and elected officials, how does one know whether the voice of the elected is really sincere about wanting to support local products?
Well, in Hawaii, it's so easy to get involved. You can submit testimony online, which very few other states have that capability. So people engaging isn't really that difficult once you show them how easy it is. But I also think that we need to think about who we're voting for and really ask them the hard questions about how do you feel about agriculture? Only 0.5% of our state budget goes to the Department of Agriculture. So if we really want to see an increase in local food production, we're going to need to increase the budget for the Department of Agriculture.
So maybe another question is beyond how do you feel, because everyone wants to feel
Yes.
and support and good, is what are some ideas, right? What would you do?
Yeah, what do we do? So we work directly with schools, and we utilize parents and community members as volunteers, and they come in and they help to teach the lessons. So we really feel like we're helping to build the community food system. So not only are the students learning about growing practices, about food miles, about the implications of a healthy food system, but so are the folks who are in the classes delivering the lessons. We train about 200 volunteers a year, and those 200 volunteers then become local food advocates.
And I would imagine that some of them maybe even go home and have gardens like my son built for me.
Yes, and they'll say, Mom, look, you have to buy this tomato because the farmer was in our classroom today and it takes a really long time and it's hard to grow a tomato. So we've heard those stories too.
And maybe grow them themselves.
Yes, grow them themselves as well. What we've learned through a lot of our evaluation of the program is that about a third of the students who participate in the program actually begin gardens at home,
Compost
piles at home, as well as cooking at home with their families.
Great. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
We've had the pleasure of talking today with NATALIE McKinney, who is the Executive Director for Kokua Hawaii Foundation. Appreciate you being with us. Mahalo for being with us today on Island Focus. It's a real pleasure to be speaking with Bob Hampton, who is the chairman of the Waikiki Beach activities at the Hilton Hawaiian Village.
Good to see you, and it's great on this Hawaiian Day.
And especially in this Culinary Institute of the Pacific. This is a new program, just sort of like your job is.
Yeah, well, I'm getting hungry just sitting in this environment. But yeah, we're fun in the sun, though. Of course, we have the catamaran and the pier and the beach and all of the fun guests that visit us. We have over 7,000 people on property every day.
And I know you're having a wonderful time in the sun, but I know also about you as the owner of Territorial Tavern in the 70s. That was really fun.
That was a different galaxy, I think. You know, when you think about it, if you wanted to meet your girlfriend at the tavern, you would have had to go to a payphone and put a dime in it to call her, if you could find her. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all of those things that you have nowadays. But the tavern was born out of necessity, at least the entertainment format, because we had Hawaiian food starting out.
So remind us where it was located.
Corner of Bishop and Nimitz. It was a downtown restaurant in the old historic 1929 steamship terminal. So it was a really cool motif, and it fit the name Territorial Tavern because it was Territorial Days. And we got into the entertainment format quite by accident. We didn't intend to. And when we did, we found out we needed, well, we were serving dinner, we needed entertainment. That's how we got in. So I called Jack DeMello, who, John DeMello's father, who had done an album for the Alamana Shopping Center. And so I'd met him, and he had an entertainer he said he could send me, and that was a young kid that was playing slacky guitar. It turned out to be Keola Beamer. And some of the patrons were saying, well, you know, he kind of shy. Do you have somebody that's less shy? And then Keola appeared, and now we had Keola and Kapono. So suddenly we had a show, and we didn't know.
And this is in the 70s.
This is 73, 74.
Okay, so the Hawaiian Renaissance music, Waikiki, was booming.
The state bird was the crane in Waikiki. And Country Comfort was our next group, and their song was Waimanalo Blues. And the line from Waimanalo Blues, they take our beaches to build our hotels. You know, that was the big thing then. You know, it was, yeah, everybody was, wow, the statehood thing, you know, because it had just turned into a state. And
you had comedy acts?
Well, that again was by accident. Everything was so organic. We did no advertising. Everything erupted from internally. I never called for the only entertainment I called for was the first one.
The first one.
Keola Beamer. And then from then on, they just appeared. And
so who are some of them that we would remember?
Oh, well, Eddie Kamai came by with Sons of Hawaii, and we had Eddie Kamai, and his group was Dennis Kamakai and Mo Keali and Gabby Pahinui, and that was our Sunday urban luau. And Genoa Keabe jamming with them, and then they did kind of compile the groups from all over town coming in on Sunday to jam. It was incredible. And our shows turned into Olamana,
Booga Booga.
Booga Booga. Now
remember
that
those
came right
guys.
off the floor. Jimmy Benton was my doorman. And Ed Guy had done some part. And all of a sudden, when Country Comfort was taking long breaks, Jimmy came up to me one night and said, you know, I have a comedy group that we've developed. Can we do a little stint in between? And the next thing I know, I've got Booga Booga. And Rap Replinger was playing guitar down at Pieces of Eight, and he came in.
I would love to talk. We would love to talk with you at much more length and find out, you know, who else was there. But in closing, a comment that you can take from that learning at that time.
Yeah, the Renaissance involved arts, music, and the people and their culture. And I'm from here, so I felt it. I'm from Roosevelt High School, and I had a lot of my classmates come in and tell me they all felt that their Hawaiian heritage was coming back alive again. So that was a beautiful time. The 70s was the Renaissance.
And maybe it's time now again.
I think you're seeing it on a younger scale.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being with us. I appreciate
Thank you, Lyla.
your brief step in history. Thank you. We've had the pleasure of chatting with Bob Hampton, who is the founder of Territorial Tavern, in addition to other things. But thank you for being with us. So, Chef, this is the instructional kitchen.
This is the instructional kitchen at the CIP.
And how many students are here under your supervision at one time?
So right now our class is 10 in size. So it's a small, intimate group, but it's nice because I get to work with them individually. Here we're trying to develop them into the future chefs of Hawaii. So it's kind of a neat thing, and they have such a great space to work with.
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
There are ovens and multiple stoves, and I don't even know what some of this equipment is.
Yeah, me too. Well, but yeah, we have a couple of our dedicated students in there still going, finishing up some of their projects.
So they take the basics and to the next level of career.
So what we're trying to do, we're trying to kind of want to make sure that this is the right industry for them, first of all, and then we want to find out where in the industry they want to go, what their passion is, because not all of them want to be chefs. You know, there's other aspects to the industry that they can do. So if we can figure that out now, so we don't waste their time, and they can grow as much as possible, as fast as possible.
So impressive. It's amazing. You must have a lot of fun here.
Yeah, we do actually. we try to. For me, the funnest part is when they actually put in the effort to try something different. A lot of them are scared, and so we're trying to break that barrier to get them to actually try and grow and learn, and that's when the fun comes in. That's when the passion comes in, and it's really fun.
And thank you very much for your time.
Of course.
We have a great opportunity today to meet Robin KUMABE, who is the Executive Director for Touch a Heart organization. Thank you for being with us. And you as well, Robin.
Thank
what great
you.
work you're doing. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. This is a privilege to be on this show. Thank you
Please
so much.
share with us a little bit what Touch a Heart really means to you.
Probably the best way to talk about us is by our tagline, which is transforming lives one heart at a time. And what we do is something that I think is a little bit innovative, but we tie in collaboration and community together by looking for underutilized commercial kitchens. And in those underutilized commercial kitchens, we actually leverage them and we place our program, which is a program in food services for vocational training in that area for those that are formerly homeless in sheltered homeless programs, such as Salvation Army and YWCA, and we train them for the workforce in food services.
How does it work?
It means if we're going to take somebody's underutilized commercial kitchen, we have to partner together with them. And so we have to understand what their needs are as well as ours.
So where are you, in which commercial kitchen are you now?
Well, right now we're actually in Central Union Church's commercial kitchen, and we started there last year in March, and we have 2 programs going. Our programs are small cohorts of only 6 at a time, and they go through 12 weeks of training in food services.
And how do these cohort participants, how do they get chosen, or how do they qualify?
Yes, they're selected together with the other nonprofit organizations such as Salvation Army's Adult Treatment Services, or our Family Treatment Services, which is the women. We also, YWCA Fernhurst, so those women are actually formerly incarcerated and on work furlough. And so we work together with their case managers so that they're pretty much specifically chosen, and then they go through an interview process with us, because that's what would happen in a real job as well.
So there's authentic collaboration.
Yes, yes.
And building a sense of community, not just outside of the kitchen, but inside the kitchen
Inside
as well.
the kitchen. Our cohort, you know, they are there together with one another for 12 weeks, and we train them in food safety. We give them help with even resume writing, as well as job interviewing skills. And of course, all the food service, knife skills, recipes, you know, but they are trained as interns and they are paid. So that's where the other part of our program, which is our social enterprises. So we have a bakery called Baker's Heart. That we do some very specialty cookies for, as well as some other baked products. And then we have our catering. And we just opened up our Uncle Pono's Ulu ice cream. So Pono Shim donated his Ulu ice cream recipe so that we could make it and provide jobs for
awesome.
our people as well.
So it's pretty special for you to be in this kitchen as
Yes.
also at the Culinary
'cause
Institute.
Perhaps some of them will actually come here after the program.
That's wonderful. In closing for this brief meeting,
Yes.
Message to the community.
Well, message is that collaboration might be very difficult to do, but it's so rewarding because you get the mix of everybody working together. And for these special people, you know, we work one heart at a time. So they're gaining not only skill sets, but they're learning how to collaborate with one another as well for the workforce.
Appreciate you being with us today. Thank
Thank you very much.
We've had the opportunity of speaking with Robin KUMABE, who is the Executive Director for Touch a Heart organization. Appreciate you being with us. We are so lucky today to have a conversation with a very special person, Donnie Dawson, who is the manager at the Hawaii Film Office. Thank you for being with us. And you, it's wonderful to see you again.
I am thrilled to be here with you, and really always happy to talk about Hawaii's growing film industry. I have managed the film office since 2001, but the film office has been around since 1978. And as I have served as the Hawaii Film Commissioner since 2001, and our job really is to make the production process seamless for producers by supporting all of their needs while they are here in Hawaii. And we do that through our a very unique film permitting process that is the only one of its kind in the country, as well as our tax credit program, which supports and attracts new business to Hawaii and all of these big film productions. So it's a wonderful job. It's a great industry for Hawaii, but it does have its challenges in trying to, you know, find the balance between telling the story, but being respectful to the community and being respectful to the land and the ocean waters and the things that are so precious to us here in Hawaii.
You know, it's exciting to see trucks, you know, and camera sets on the street. At the same time, I know you have the greater concerns are in what's best for the community.
I would say 99.9% of them do right by our communities, and they leave places better than they find them because they want to be invited back again. But with that, you know, when they come and spend their money and create their magic, they end up leaving the islands, and you know, we're still here, and we're accountable to that community that supports our office and supports the good work that we do. It's a lot of territory, but I think that one of the biggest, most important things is that for producers coming to Hawaii to create their magic, they really need to understand what Hawaii is about, very much about our people and our culture here that is so, so important and has been here for a very, very long time.
And what we value.
What we value.
And it is relationships. It's about doing things in the proper way.
We started providing crew memos to go out with the call sheets for productions and talk about the concept of Malama Aina. This is where you are. This is what, you know, we're trying to create in this place, but this is Hawaii, and Hawaiians feel very strongly about taking care of the land. And so here are the do's and don'ts for when you've been invited as a guest to come into our community. These are the things you need to be looking out for.
As we wrap up this very brief moment together, what is your vision and what's possible?
I think what's possible is for us to provide a greater understanding so that Hawaii can really be represented on a very big stage and represented well. I think that we're living in an age when many more people want authenticity in the things that they see on television and in film. And I think it's our job to try to educate productions that come in here as they try to tell their stories. So we're developing a digital book called the Hawaiian Handbook, and it is going to be a protocol guide for media making in the Hawaiian Islands. And it's going to really not lecture people, but educate people.
Inform.
Not scare them away, but inform them so that their process can continue to be seamless, and they can continue to create the great stories that they are. And really, the world knows and understands us by the quality of those stories that are told on a world stage. So it's incumbent on us to provide that information for them so they can do it right.
Well, you're one of the leaders in our community that has so much integrity to keep things moving, you know, in a way that shares aloha. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You've joined us in meeting Donnie Dawson, the manager of the Hawaii Film Office and State Film Commissioner. Thank you very much for being with us, and we'll see you again on Island Focus. Mahalo to the Culinary Institute of the Pacific for hosting us today, and to you for tuning in to Island Focus. I'm Lyla Berg. Aloha and malama pono. Take care of each other. See you soon.